So, let's start. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the Team Neko Guide to Con Etiquette 2, because you didn't listen to us the first time. So, by popular demand, we were asked by Gophers Committee and various other folk, we were asked to run this panel again. So we were like, sure, why not?
Hello, latecomers. You must now play the penalty game.
So like I say, we were asked to do this panel again, and we thought, yeah, why not? And unfortunately, we were supposed to run this on Friday morning, but I've been ill, so a lot of this was supposed to be relevant to the beginning of the convention, so we're just going to kind of wing it. So the introduction, who we are. So, I'm Zelly, this is Tom, my husband. We have been part of the con scene for, at this point now, over 10 years, which is a very long time. And we've started to notice over the years that there's a lot of new faces in the con scene. There's a lot of, especially this weekend, there's not as many people at this convention that we know, a lot of fresh new faces, and, coming along with that has been a lot of trouble, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard about. So, we decided the Con Etiquette Guide was a good thing to, educate these new people on how they should and shouldn't behave. So as we say, we've seen some shit in our time. We really have. It's unbelievable. Some of the stuff you hear and you go, that can't actually have happened. You've obviously made that up. No, that everything that we talk about in this panel has actually happened. And we've got stories from other people as well, and it's horrific. This year the panel is supposed to be more focused on Kitacon related incidents, given what happened last year. So we're trying to focus more on Kitacon, but there will be other general things like General Con for other conventions and such as well. So things we'll be covering this year include alcohol consumption, the venue, and general common sense. And as a word of warning, we are Scottish. Swearing is like punctuation for us, so, we had a complaint about this last year. Apparently I'm a sweary bastard. I thought that was implied by the fact that the panel's run by Scottish people. So I'm making a point of telling you the word fuck will be said a lot.
Fuck ton.
You're okay with that? You're okay with that? Yeah, there's a whole lot of Scots in here and you're all just sitting there going, I don't know what the fuck ever, don't give a shit. So we're going to start off with the most important rule. The key rule. And that is, don't be a dick.
Just don't.
This is said at every single fucking convention, and it still happens time and time again. People are assholes, and it needs to stop. This is a community where we should all love each other, and we don't. Everyone hates somebody, yeah, that's a given, but you don't have to be a fucking asshole to them all the time. Just ignore them, leave them alone, right? Just don't be a dick. Don't be a dick to the cosplayers for how they're dressed. Don't be a dick to the gophers. Don't be a dick to the committee. Just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick to the muggles.
Especially don't be a dick to the armed gophers.
Don't be a dick to the hotel staff as well. I'm trying to bring up some of my notes just so I know what to...
Don't be a dick to bar staff. Don't be a dick to airport security.
Don't be a dick to panel hosts. That's happened to me before. And sorry, I'm trying to find my thing. I have a very huge...
Don't be a dick to special guests.
Don't be a dick to guests.
Just don't be a dick.
But it gets said time and time again, and you always hear that there's always people, and you see them running around out there, and they're just being it's excessive. It's excessive the amount of dicks that run around this convention, and quite honestly, I think we should all be given permission to take them out. Right? You could take out that bit of their brain. I'm pretty sure you could do that,
We can sell their kidneys and give them money to charity. It's for charity, they can't complain.
Yes. So we're going to talk a bit about the venue. For example, don't vandalise the venue, which should be obvious, don't vandalise it. But we still have incidents that happen, like 2 Kitacons ago, where the person decided to do a tar and feather incident. So what was it? It was a jar of honey.
And
It was a jar of honey.
at first everyone was told it was a pillow from the hotel that had been ripped open. Later reports indicate that someone had actually put the forethought to bring in their own feathers.
So yeah, they chucked the honey over their pal, they threw the feathers over their pal, and then their pal ran around the hotel like, no, you can't do that. The bloody mess that made. Things like burning the Bibles. That's a thing that happened at Kitacon. Yeah. Throwing things like your rubbish over the balcony, that's another thing that happened at Kitacon.
Not Kitacon, but smearing foodstuffs.
That was GameCon.
Just smearing foodstuffs on everything.
Yep.
Not
Cupcakes.
Not only are you vandalising the venue, you're depriving yourself of cupcakes.
Literally, like, this is, I'm pretty sure, I think Gemma was an 18 plus con. Potentially. It was that long ago, and I'm honestly trying to block out the memories of that convention, but yeah, the committee gave each person a cupcake when they registered. And it was an alright cupcake. I mean, I didn't really like it, and I kind of put it in the bin. But you know, that's common sense. You put the cupcake in the bin if you don't like it, or you give it to your friend. But people smeared it on the banisters, and they smeared it on the walls, and the hotel lost their shit.
And the mirrors, and the windows, and each other. And the lifts. Oh, don't get us started on the lifts.
Don't break the lifts.
Lifts are not trampolines.
Also, don't pee in lifts.
That's illegal in Singapore.
That was AMI, was it AMI? I think it was AMI 2007. I discovered the puddle of pee in the lift. The worst part was it was the lift in the main university hall place, and it only goes between 2 floors. And it takes like no time at all to get between the 2 floors, so this person obviously they were really quick. But yeah, there was a puddle of piss and it was disgusting. That was one of my first few conventions. That was, yeah, that was good.
I remember someone actually at London MCM Comic Con broke a couple of glow sticks in half and started dumping them all down the toilets.
Yeah, I heard that.
Why?
Because they wanted to make it look like, you know, you had a black light, they were doing a dirty joke like that, but that was the only reason.
That's fucking ridiculous. I can't even understand the logic behind that. If you want to come in, you can come in. Or you can close the doors. It's fine. You're stuck now. You're all fucked.
Has anyone seen The Clockwork Orange?
Okay, the next one, obviously this was more relevant to this weekend, but like not to bring in outside food, which kind of gets a bit confusing when the hotel actually gives you your pizza in a pizza box. Did anyone else get approached by security? No? We did last night.
I'm staying off site, so...
Hilton pizza boxes got Hilton branding on.
No, they don't.
Not this shit.
They just look like standard pizza boxes from a chippy down the road. So we had security come over last night and go, where'd you get that pizza from? We were like, the kitchens. They had no idea. But yeah, they're being really strict this year, and I can kind of understand why, given all the shit that happened last year. So don't bring in outside food, or if you're gonna do it on the fly, shh.
There was, when I went back to bed last night, because I'm awake at about midnight, there was a very confused Domino's pizza guy standing in the lobby with a thing, and I don't know if it was one of our guys, but he was there like, what room do I go to?
Oh no.
Saying that some of the people from the other events that are going on here have been bringing in outside food.
Yeah, I think
I'm not
this...
saying it was us, but I just remember this really confused pizza guy.
Yeah, I'm guessing this like no outside food thing is specifically just for us, and that's not at all surprising given like the pizza boxes and I should have put the pictures, and I do actually have pictures of it. There's pictures, I'll show them at the end, of the pizza boxes that were left like in the lobbies, and then there was the container of Chinese, half-eaten Chinese food that they'd put actually in a con bag. So, you know, incriminating the con. And they put all this, and it was fucking reeking. And it was right outside the lift on one of those like marble pedestal things. And you walk out the lift and the smell hit you like a fucking wall. And it was like, oh God, and it made me want to vomit everywhere. But then all up the corridor was just fucking stacks of pizza boxes. And it's like, okay, yeah, ordering Domino's is great, but like, do you have to make such a fucking mess?
It's your room.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you're going to at least order pizza, what people should have really done is just took it to the eat room and ate it there rather than stuff it all down the entirety of the lobby, just pretty much ruined.
There was people like I actually saw sitting like in like the sort of lobby area, like not the lobby, the corridor area, like eating pizzas and stuff because they just didn't want to eat, because they didn't want to eat it in their room because they didn't want to smell their room, but they wanted to smell the rest of the hotel. It was rank as fuck. It was so, and no wonder the hotel have said no outside food, because that was gross as hell. Stay out of the restricted areas, which we know for a fact has already been fucked up this year, because if you all remember, was it the first Kitacon that ran here?
No.
I think it was the first. I think it was the first one that ran, or it was the second one that ran here. There was the Assassin's Creed cosplayers. They got up on the roof, had a wee photo shoot, and they got into a world of trouble.
So they nearly went through the skylight in the swimming pool.
Yeah, I will say this though, I seen the photos, they're pretty badass, but it was a pretty nice shoot. I know the people who did it, and I was like, oh no, I don't approve. I do not approve of what they did, but the photos look fucking awesome.
Just don't do it. Just don't.
But it's already happened this weekend.
Not safe.
It's definitely not safe. Not safe. Yeah, but someone this weekend has already decided to go up on the roof and have a little photo shoot. Don't fucking do that. Like, that's insane. Why would you be like, oh, I'm gonna go up on the roof? What's on the roof? There's literally fuck all on the roof. There's lots of lakes and woods and pretty things out there. Various other places you can go and do your nice photo shoot. But why you've got to like, because you need to go on the fire escape, do you not, to get on the roof?
No, on some of the rooms, there's that little lower roof over the wall that you can just climb over your balcony.
Well, don't do that.
That's still not easy to do.
That's like borderline suicidal trying to do that. I mean,
No,
In
it's
cosplay.
it's level with your floor essentially. You just got to climb over bars.
Nice. So we're not going to be getting, rooms with balconies anymore. Be considerate of your noise levels. So, people staying in hotels, have they had any problems with sleeping over the weekend? Yeah?
Staying off-site.
Party
We're
over the
off-site.
corridor from me,
Oh no.
and this girlfriend went to bed at 1 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. Fuck your rave parties in your bedroom, seriously. I will come and I will kick your door down, I'll kick your fucking face in. Not having it at all. We've been kind of fortunate this year because we're on the corridor with like nearly all the committee. So they've been kind of nice and considerate. Unfortunately, our problem has been with like other guests this year, talking loudly at like 3 o'clock in the morning down the corridor, and I'm just like, oh, you need to shut the fuck up. Especially because I'm not well. I'm already lying there trying to sleep, and these people are screaming about whatever the fuck they've been doing. There's a couple of things here this weekend, and I'm just like,
You've got the Christians and the genealogists.
But no tiles this year.
I missed the tile convention. Yes! That was the first ever Kitacon that was held here. There was
Sneak into the karaoke.
there was the guy. He's it was like a major tile company he worked for, and he actually went to like the party, and he's like, oh yes, I'm the head of this tile company. I own it. Blah blah blah. You should let me into your party. And they were like, no, you can't come in. You don't have a badge. And they were like, well, how much can I pay you to get into this party?
Nothing was
Did
solved.
you see that party though? No wonder they came to us. Theirs was balls.
I heard about that. They were the nicest group of people that had actually stayed at the convention at the same time as us, because they actually, they were actually interested in what we were doing. And then they were like, we want to come to your parties, we want to do your thing, this is so much fun, we're talking about fucking tiles.
They had a disco. Nobody anywhere doing any dancing, and just all this standard disco music, like all the old horrible classics, and just the DJ, come on you party people, to an empty room.
And mobile wedding DJ.
Yeah.
Is it like a school disco?
so
Some guy with his phone just kind of,
Yep.
I've got this album on iTunes. Play this.
It's like men on the left, women on the right.
Is this basically what we're going to experience tonight in terms of cheese?
We're going to do social dancing.
You don't know what social dancing is, most of you. But,
The Gay Gordons.
Yeah.
the Dashing White Sergeants.
Flashbacks.
Triggered.
Okinawa.
Trigger warning.
Okinawa.
We don't name names in this panel, but yes.
Talking of numbers, I've been quite lucky in that I've only had a few people walking past the doors at the early hours, but they've been fairly good. But my room is basically, you look out, you can see the doorway that comes out where the party is. And I didn't appreciate on Friday that person who just shouted for about 2 hours out front going, "I'll fucking take you, mate, you want to fucking go?" For about an hour and a half or so.
You want to fucking
I
go,
will
mate?
fucking go in a minute, mate, if you don't shut up.
You should just open your window and just be like, "I'll fucking take you, mate. Shut the fuck up."
I'm hoping that wasn't someone from the convention, because obviously that was not, that was covered in the opening ceremony.
I could absolutely believe that was Christian. Do not overcrowd your hotel room. Disclaimer, I am guilty. I have done this once, so though it wasn't overcrowding, I did sneak an extra person into my room at one convention. But to be fair, we had all the floor space in the world, and it was only one person.
And to be fair, nobody got any sleep, so it was okay.
Yeah, nobody got any sleep because Tom, this was Amy Chibi. So yeah, a lot of you already know what happened to Amy Chibi. Yeah, there wasn't much sleep at that convention because he's a dick.
For God's sake, Tom.
That was before we did this panel.
Yeah.
I am ashamed to admit that I actually have sneaked people into my room, but this is like shame.
Like if you're discreet about it and you've got good intentions, right? There's nothing wrong with, like, you know, having a pal in the room on a wee air mattress, you know, and you just kind of keep that to yourself. But back at the park-in, Kitacon, the second Kitacon, the room next to me and Guy, it was the same size room that me and him had, so we had like a double room, and there was a couch, and there wasn't much room to like move. There wasn't room for any of our fucking suitcase, but the room next to us had fucking 8 people in it. There was like people sleeping in the bathroom and people sleeping under like the desk and stuff.
One person having to sleep sat up on the toilet, which would make mornings very awkward.
But it was like why? I know you want to save money, but like, the parking wasn't that expensive. But like I know you want to save money, but 8 people, that's fucking excessive. And they were noisy bastards as well. I was losing my shit that weekend.
Just imagine the smell.
But of course then it created problems for other people in the hotel, because people like that, you know, it got back to the hotel staff, and then the hotel staff were knocking on my door, and they were like, "Oh, we just want to know if you want your room serviced," and they're like trying to look around me to see into my room. I'm literally standing there like, you know,
You're in a towel.
I was in a towel. It was a very big towel, I will say, and I was a lot skinnier back then, so I had good coverage. But I was standing there and I was like, "No, we don't need room service. That's why there's, you know, we've got the do not disturb sign, because, you know, I'm still in here, as you can see." But the person was like proper trying to like, they were not being discreet about it at all, and that pissed me the fuck off. Because it's like, do you know what? If you want to check and see if I've got loads of people in my room, do I just say, "Hey, we just want to check and see that you've not got like 8 people in your room? Can we just pop in?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." But they wanted to make my life difficult, so I made their life difficult. Just kind of close the door a little bit. No, you can vengeance. So you don't overcrowd your hotel room. Be respectful of the muggles. They may not be respectful of us, a la Gadget Show 2 years ago.
Manga shagging.
Yeah, I remember that.
As everyone loves the manga shagging thing, personally I fucking hate it, because I read that bastard's tweets that he made before the manga shagging one, and they were downright offensive.
Yeah.
And of course everyone jumped on the manga shagging and was, "Oh, this is hilarious." And it kind of wasn't when you read the rest of his text. He was being a dick. He needed this panel. Don't be a dick.
Being a bit of a massive wank stain.
Massive wankstein, yeah. But at the same time, you know, they can be a bit arsey towards us. They don't understand what's happening. They just see all the colourful costumes and they just kind of go, whoa, what's going on? You know, for us it's second nature. You know, when you walk down the street and you see a cosplayer, just a random cosplayer, like in Glasgow for example, it happens all the time. I'll just be walking to my work and there will just be like someone Attack on Titan.
It's a Naruto.
It happens all the time, but it doesn't register to me. I'm just like, oh, Attack on Titan. It's fucking weird.
Speaking of muggles, so we had an incident this morning actually. One of the gophers is cosplaying Mr. Anderson from Helsing. So he's got the cross, it's the two knives. And one of the vicars from the Christian group is giving him so much grief about being disrespectful to our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ.
But aren't they those Christians that don't discriminate?
They're supposed to be Unitarians.
Yeah, so they contradict themselves.
Yeah.
I had a slightly creepy incident yesterday with grandma.
With a grandma?
Yes! I was in my
Please come and tell us about this story.
I was in my fursuit, so I was all like white and fluffy and rainbow. And I was walking down the corridor, and she was like, "Oh, you're so cute." And I was like, "Thank you." I was like, "Come and give us a kiss." And I went in for a kiss, and I was like, "Please no!"
Oh my god, like proper, here's son, here's a pound, go and get some sweeties.
And then her friend was like,
Go
"Oh,
lick my
take
thumb
you
and
home."
wipe your face.
And I was like, "I'm going to live near you," and then scurried off.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger. Unsafe.
But unfortunately, they don't understand. They can get a bit in your face about it. So we just have to be the bigger people and just be like, you know, okay, we'll just walk away. We'll leave you to your whatever the fuck. And people don't bite back at them, because that's what happened with the gadget show. People like nipped back at the gadget show folk, and of course that aggravated the gadget show folk, and they started nipping back at us, and then it all fell over onto Twitter. And then, of course, it provided us with some amusement over the weekend, reading the people being like, oh, it's a fucking furry convention. And it's like, not really, you know? And it's like, let us educate you.
And what is it, they're saying, oh, there must be all sort of like these preteens. It's like, well, actually, it's over 18s only.
The thing is that all it does is cause tension and trouble, which then gets back to hotel. And it makes it more difficult for us and other anime conventions to secure venues.
I remember, if it's the one I'm thinking of, 2 years ago, I was actually with a friend on the last night during the ball. We went up to the bar down by the lounge, and there was this guy who had just been to the gadget show, some sort of weird ass businessman. He was in his 40s and started hitting on my friend, who is like 20.
Half your age plus 6. Any less than that, and it's just creepy.
It was creepy. It was eerie. Yeah.
You are actually much older than you look.
This is true.
Tom, stop. Please. I'm right here.
You love her too.
I know.
I've actually got a nice story. I don't know if anyone saw this. I think it was last night or yesterday at some point. One of the church group that I cannot pronounce actually posted directly to the Kitacon Facebook page to say about how lovely we are and how much it's been a pleasure to see us.
Yeah. It's
on the official Kita page.
Do you know what made me happy was that I was in the bar on the Friday, I think it was the Friday night. Yes, it was, because Lizzie and Mark were here. And obviously you've noticed there's been a lot of kids running around. They're fucking loving it, right? And that makes me really happy, because I've seen some cosplayers actually like go with it. So like people are going up and being like, oh, can I look at your thing? And it's like, you know, they're prop. And they're like, oh yeah, but just be really careful. And the kids are loving it. And it's great.
Of cosplayers.
And it's like, yes, good. Yes, encourage them.
Yesterday, I don't know what the cosplayer was doing, but he was impressed. And the child was like, can I look at your katana? And then the cosplayer was impressed that the child did the work. It was darling.
Yeah, we were on Twitter last night and this morning, just going through like the tag of Kitacon, and then we went on the Unitarians tag, and they were posting about Kitacon, saying they wanted to come to parties and join us.
And 10 years from now, those kids will be at conventions, and we'll have to run this panel again.
But it's like, you know, it's you just need to give the Muggles a little bit of love. Just love the Muggles. You might not want to, but just kind of pet them nicely. There they are. There they are. It's okay. The scary people will be gone soon and you can go back to your mundane, boring life of...
It's okay. You only come out at night. And sometimes during the day.
Okay, moving along, because, well, that took longer than I thought. Quick reminder. This is 2016 and I still have to fucking say this, right? The amount of people that I have stood beside at this convention this weekend and they are reeking. There's no need, there's fucking soap that's free in the hotel room, right? Just stick it under your arm, just, right? It takes no time, you don't even have to get in the shower, you can do it at the sink.
They don't charge you extra for water in here. You can have as many showers as you like. It's all included.
It's just, it drives me fucking insane that there's still people that come to these things and the smell is horrific. It's like, okay, a little bit of, a little bit of sweat smell, that's unavoidable. This place is roasting. Well, for me anyway, I'm from a colder climate. But this place is fucking roasting. I've woken up every day and I'm just like, I'm sweating buckets. And it's horrible, and I'm a bit kind of, damp just now, but it's really warm in here, and it's just going to get worse over the course of the night, and then of course you're going to get into the parties, but there's people that are coming in with like 2-day-old smell on them.
On Friday.
And you see the ones that are wearing the same goddamn t-shirt for the whole year.
And do you know what, it's the same people every year. So at least sometimes you know them and you're just like, I'm going to walk this way, away from them, so you can avoid them before they get anywhere near you. But there have been some people where I've just been kind of standing, just talking to folk, and they've walked past, and I've went.
I've actually, although I've been staying off site, the guy I'm staying with, when we initially came here on the Thursday night, apparently hadn't washed since Wednesday.
I have a shower every day unless it's my day off work and I'm not leaving the house, in which case I'll just slum it, but I'm not leaving the house, so that's fair enough. But generally, if I'm going to leave the house that day, I will wash myself. I'm a big girl, right? It's not nice, so just I need to make sure I'm clean.
The worst thing about it was that he'd not changed his socks since Monday morning either. And to make matters worse, I had to put up with that in my own room, in my own house, because he had to stay overnight in my house.
No!
Do you not have a shower in your house?
I did. He didn't even use it.
I think got on with the fucking garden hose, mate. You filthy fucker.
Filthy animal.
I just put up with it. I had no choice but
I would,
to put up with it.
especially not in my house. I'd be like, you can sleep on the fucking steps outside. Get the fuck out. No. Let's move on. Let's move on quickly, because I'm forgetting we've got a lot less time this year. So, for the convention itself, don't give your con badge to any non-attendee. So as you all know, we've got these lovely wristbands this year. Do any of you know why we have these lovely wristbands this year?
People were giving con badges to loser conners so they could get into the dealers.
I know one of the people who tried that. Yeah, and I was not at all surprised to hear that she'd pulled this shit. That's one of the reasons we're not friends anymore, because she's really selfish like that. But yeah, she turned up last year, and then she was one of the people that was on Gopher Watch because she nicked the badge, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, because we actually witnessed her friend throwing the badge to her so she could get into breakfast. Wow. Which the two Gophers, yes, we were in cosplay, so Gopher badges weren't obvious. We didn't have the lovely Gopher jackets that we do. We just saw it and was like, yep.
But
won't be a dick anywhere because there are secret gophers watching you all the time.
Gopher.
I'm not so secret anymore. Everyone
Secrets.
But the other incident that happened, I couldn't believe it when Morty told me this. Right, Morty's one of she's the events liaison. Yeah. I couldn't believe it when she told me this. Someone had actually photocopied the badges. So they photocopied them, and you know how some people, they wear their badges like war medals. Yeah. So you've got people walking around with they're down like this because they've got literally fucking 60 badges on their thing. I had to stop wearing all mine because that's exactly what happened to me. It started to get really heavy, so they're all sitting at home. But people still wear them all. So they photocopied the badge, and then they stuck it on with this. So they were just kind of flashing it, just kind of, yeah, there's that. And it was disguised by the fact that there was so many badges there. So of course gophers weren't obvious to what was happening.
So unfortunately some of the gophers had to like stop, take hold, and then we got complaints because
Yeah.
we were picking up the badges to properly look at them.
Because then people were getting nipped as well, because it was like, no, you have to show us the back of your badge as well, so you have to show the front and the back. When you're trying to get loads and loads of people into a room for like a major event, that's time consuming. The gophers don't have that time. They've got lots of shit to get on with. So there's more problems that they're causing, because now they've got to do a double check. And
So just again, this doesn't just affect like you. It doesn't just affect the people who are directly involved. Things like this mean that, yeah, this year the convention had to pay out extra to give us all wristbands. And that's money that could have gone to something else. That
could have been an extra nice thing in the con bag for us to enjoy, but instead we've got these.
Which are lovely in their own way. But still.
Yeah, they're actually not bad. I was expecting one of those horrible Tyvek ones.
I was expecting one of those. Do you mean the like the paper ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. They would
actually made of plastic. It's an incredible wonder material.
They don't feel like plastic.
Another important one that I always talk about, as you know, because we film everything. Don't talk during the panels and events. And I'm not talking like, you know, how you guys are talking to us. I'm talking like you've gone into a panel and then you're sat at the back and you're talking throughout the entire thing. Because you want it, the Yowie panel, exactly, if anyone was at that Yowie panel a couple of years ago.
Or even last year's one as well, sat at the front of the swords.
The people would not shut the fuck. The amount of times Lizzie had to stop and go, shh, shh, was ridiculous. But yeah, I've already got a couple of panels from this year that are going to have talking over the back of it. And it infuriates me to no end, because it's like, if you want to have a conversation, fuck off out there and do it. There's absolutely, why would you come into a panel to sit and have a conversation about how fucked up and mental you're going to get on the dance floor tonight? You can do that out there at the bar. You can tell everyone how mental and fucked up you're going to get. The people that are in this room want to watch this panel. They don't give a shit what you're doing tonight. They want to know how to style a wig, or what the guest is doing.
Or how to not be a dick.
So this still happens so much, and it's even in the big events as well. It was not the last Aya, the Aya before. The Aya before the last one, I was sitting in the front row filming, and I had like 4 people sitting just kind of here, and they were just sitting talking about mundane shit, but they weren't talking like whispers, they were talking like normal voice. And I had to turn around so many times and go, guys, can you maybe shut the fuck up? Because it's distracting me, but also my camera's picking it up. And like, you know, when I'm press at these things, I kind of want to be a bit more professional and not just have like, you know, video of people chatting all over the top of it. The amount of like, so many panels that I've had ruined, where I've just sat and gone through it, and I went, I'm not even going to put this online, because all you can hear is Jimmy talking about the lassie he was with last night. You know, just shut the fuck up. Leave if you want to have a chat. Don't do it in the events. It's rude as fuck to the panel host as well, because they're taking the time to make this panel and present it to you, and you're a disrespectful cunt, to be quite honest, if you're going to sit and chat through the whole thing. No need for it. Don't do it. Fuck off out. There's a 3-strike rule on this thing in the parties, isn't there?
2 strikes.
2 strikes. I wasn't at the opening ceremony, so I don't. But yeah, don't take your bulky bags, but on top of that, don't take your bulky props and your cosplays into the parties, because those things get a little bit wild and people get a bit crazy, and you know, you don't want them breaking your prop or breaking your cosplay, and you don't want to hurt them either.
Obviously this year the rule is no bags that would hold a drink, essentially.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
People still break that rule though.
We also had idiots taking poi into the parties.
It's
Friday night, Saturday night, people had gone in with poi, which means like, no, just not say no.
Not this year, I would say, definitely not this year. I mean, the last kit of the party room was massive. I'd say if you're going to be like in a wee corner, it's maybe not so bad, but like like you're saying, like, you got to take care of your surroundings, and I have seen people like right in the middle, giving it with their glow sticks.
Like, didn't you take one to the face 1 year?
Yes, actually. I was on the stage. and someone threw a glow stick at the stage and it got me right in the eye. I missed the entire last song of the party because I was in the toilets howling because my eye was just watering and nasty everywhere.
Don't throw things at the stage, everyone.
Not safe.
It's
Definitely not safe. The thing is,
also,
it was just one of those little tiny, you know those ones that you just wrap around your wrist? It was just one of those. But obviously it was going at such speed and I had glasses on. That's how impressive their shot was because it got me in the eye. And then I missed the rest of the night and I was just like, well, shit.
There was a guy last night, I remember, he was actually running about with, I think, is it Final Fantasy 15, the chap,
you can't tell them apart anymore.
No, we
There's
can't.
too many Final Fantasies.
Yeah, it was basically a guy running about with a big massive sword with an engine block on it inside the party room. And it was like...
So why would you need that in a party?
You're going to hurt somebody else, you're going to break your prop, and nobody's going to have a good time.
But why would you need to take that into a party?
He wanted to show off a pattern.
Oh, goody for him. Whoop-de-doo!
Take it outside.
And all the lightsabers, 4 or 5 people have the glass lightsabers.
Oh no. I did see pictures of lightsabers. I thought they were the plastic ones, which are bad enough. They weren't even the ones that retracted.
You're going to have a bad time.
It's probably a good thing I'm not at the parties this year.
They were being quite careful with them.
Right.
I left, as I say, fairly early because I'm a whip. So.
I wouldn't say that. I've not been at the parties at all, to be quite honest.
You're ill, you have a reason.
Yeah, that is true, that is true.
And I'm an old man.
He is an old
You're
man.
also not allowed to drink anymore.
I can't actually walk into the parties as much anymore either. I'm epileptic. It's just strobe lights.
I have to say, I am just getting old. Like, I can't stand in there for too long because it's just my ears. And I get kind of, too many young people, whippersnappers, get off my lawn, etc., etc. And I just, I'll go into the final party tonight, obviously, because it's part of my video hub duty and stuff, but I'll be on the stage filming, so it's different. I'm not actually in the throngs of the people all gyrating and grinding.
Back in my day, those kids were social dancing.
With the twerking
and yeah.
and such.
Of the giant glow sticks, have you seen what some people have done to them? They've ripped the foam off. So they've just got the inside of it glows.
What's the point?
So it's a lot brighter, but I've seen, and they're like made of wire, and I saw like 3 or 4 being ripped apart last night.
You know, the strange thing is, having seen them a little bit during the opening ceremony, they look much cooler when they're still in the plastic bag.
On the shelf in the shop?
No, just in general. If they're still in the plastic bag, it adds an extra diffusion. It's awesome.
Okay, coming back to this, respecting the committee and the gophers. These guys do not get paid for what they do. Everything is voluntary, especially at this convention. I know there's some conventions where the committee get paid, and we don't talk about those conventions really, but generally at this convention especially, they don't get paid for what they do. The gophers are all volunteers, and they put a lot of work in. Like, I know a lot of the gophers that are working this weekend, and they haven't stopped. Literally haven't stopped, and it's like, dude, you're fucking mental. Like, have a sleep, have a Kit Kat or something. You know, just
before sleep.
It's just, well, that's what it says on your jacket, doesn't it?
It says no death, no sleep.
No death, no sleep. I love those jackets. They're amazing.
Work forever, shiny and chrome.
But people are assholes to the gophers, and the gophers are doing the job. That's the thing. People are like, oh no, you're being an asshole to me because you're stopping me from doing the thing I want to do. And it's like, yeah, but you see, the gophers are being told to stop you from doing the thing you want to do. It's like, if you have a genuine problem with a gopher, I know some people have had genuine problems with gophers. It's like, don't nip back at them, because you're just going to make it worse for yourself. Immediately go and speak to the committee. The committee will sort them out. I'm pretty sure, is it Jess and Gemma?
Day shift, Gemma's night shift.
Yeah, they'll kick their fucking ass if they stir up shit. But I can tell you for a fact, the gophers this year are all lovely. They all know what they're doing. They're all so on the fucking ball. I'd be surprised if there's any complaints about the gophers this year, because they've all been great.
Well, we started doing the gopher planning shortly after Reg opened.
Yeah.
Reg opens in, or buying your tickets where ticket sales opened. As soon as they'd sold out, gopher planning started.
So the gophers were here before you all arrived. They will leave long after you leave, and they don't get to do the stuff that you do at these events.
it's difficult for them. There's a few gophers that I wanted to come to this panel today and they couldn't because they've been scheduled elsewhere, and it's unfortunate, but they don't really have much control in this. So they've come down here. They've paid to come here. They've paid to stay in the hotel. Obviously, eventually, some of them get their memberships for free because of the years of service or the hours of service that they've put in. But some of these new gophers, like some conventions, I don't know about this one exactly, but some conventions, like the new gophers, still have to pay for their memberships.
Yeah.
And then they're working all weekend, so they're paying to come and help your shit out. And then eventually, after so many hours and years of service, then they start getting their free memberships. So especially the new ones, they're still paying just like you, but they're doing a job. So you have to respect that.
We still pay for our extras. We pay for our gopher jackets. That's out of gopher pocket. We pay our hotel. The only thing we get free if you've done enough hours is the standard ticket. So the gophers that have gone VIP have paid the difference.
Yeah.
And that's still quite a fairly new thing. The idea of giving gophers a free reg. That most of the time, it's been a matter of you're still coming, you're still paying, but going to get work to the bone all weekend.
And yeah, you get your gopher party at the end, but
we're not allowed pizza this year.
That's sad. I've only gophered once in my life, never again. I do not have the stones to gopher. It was the Kitacon 2. They had like 4 gophers or some shit. And I said, yeah, okay, I'll come and help. And I helped some of the evening stuff. But I didn't have the stones to stick it out, and I'll never go for it again. It was horrific for the little thanks that you get from like the community for it. So just give these guys a little bit of love, smile at the gophers. They like that. You like me smiling at you.
Blow them kisses.
So we're going to move on to another important point. Cosplay is not consent. Another thing that, God, we're still having to talk about in 2016, because when I put out feelers for stories from people, a lot of the stories that I got were in regards to harassment. A lot of the stories that I got were, I've been harassed in cosplay, and this happened last year.
It happened on Friday night as well, according to my roommate.
Why? It boggles my mind. It's like, okay, they've got a little bit of flesh showing, but that's no excuse. Leave them alone. It just makes me so angry.
People get confused as well because they're like, oh look, there's my favourite character. I can go touch my favourite character, and they seem to forget that it's a real person. Just
ask the cutie before you touch the booty.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And half the time people will just say, yeah, sure, go for it. It's very rarely that I see someone go, no, you absolutely cannot touch me, just like don't do it. But people usually have a reason for that.
Maybe it's that you're really creepy.
Or they just don't like being touched.
Or maybe it's the fact that the kimono they're wearing is older than they are.
But it's just little things. It's just having respect. I mean, like, would you go up to a woman in the street who's wearing next to nothing and like try and touch them up?
Don't answer that.
Unfortunately, there are arseholes in this world that would.
But there's marginally less than what you would find at a convention these days. And a lot of the stories that I got from people were, yeah, I'm still wearing something. It's not even a provocative thing that they're wearing, but it's like, this person's obviously a female and they're not dressed in a conventional manner, therefore I'm going to harass them and make them feel uncomfortable and make them feel unsafe, and then maybe they're not going to ever do their cosplay again, and that's a shame.
Maybe they'll never want to go to a convention again.
I've heard there's so many cases of that happening. So many people that I knew when I first started going to conventions don't come to conventions anymore because they're sick of that shit. And it makes me sad because these are good people and they're good cosplayers, but they're fed up of this sort of shit that's like attached to it, and it needs to stop.
It's like I was at October Comic Con in London last year, and for the second day my friend was in a Harley Quinn. It was a custom one. It wasn't revealing at all. She covered up the chest, she was wearing shorts under the tutu, and I had to act the bodyguard. Because
which admittedly I know you love doing, but still.
It's like there was one kata a few years back where our like a friend of ours, Steph, she was dressed as was it Minky Momo or something?
Yes, but I think it's like Princess Mickey Momo.
But it's like nothing about her costume was like revealing at all. But she was getting majorly harassed by a guy to the point where Tom actually went over to him and threatened to break his fucking legs. That's not an exaggeration. He's like, leave my friend alone or I will break your fucking legs. The guy was like, what? And he was back affronted, and it's like, mate, you're literally sexually harassing one of my best friends. And she's terrified and she wants to go home. Leave her the fuck alone. And of course, this weekend she's having the same problem. Because she came to me not long before this panel and she's like, by the way, there's a guy proper stalking me. She's wearing like the sort of Marty McFly, like female version, so she's got like little booty shorts and stuff on. But she's just like, he won't leave me alone. I'm really kind of like, I don't know what to do about this. And I'm like, look, we'll send Tom after him again, it's fine. But this is the second time in as many years that she's been harassed. Because she's wearing little shorts. Fuck off! I'll kill you, bitch!
So not that guy that's been arrested down in London for doing it to hospitals down in London at the minute being about. He's been banned from the London
He's
convention.
been banned for 6 months.
Oh, was he not in the papers?
Yeah.
I actually know one of the girls who he was harassing. It was actually at Collectomania down in Braehead. And it was I heard the entire story from her. It was not pretty.
It's ridiculous. It's like Rosalie. If any of you know the cosplayer Rosalie.
Little record girl.
Yeah, she's lovely. She's beautiful. Her cosplays are outstanding. But then she gets all these like really creepy, weird messages from blokes on like Twitter and stuff, and it's like, mate, no, Jesus. It's like she's cosplaying Misty. She's literally cosplaying a 13-year-old girl, right? Gonna no send her messages telling her how you want to do her one. That's
Cosplay doesn't mean dick pics.
Oh, did she get a dick pic?
Who doesn't get dick pics?
I didn't get dick pics.
She's also been repeatedly body shamed. People say she's too fat to cosplay.
Oh, fuck off.
She's not fat.
She is not. She's fucking gorgeous. She puts pictures of herself on Facebook and I'm just like, can you stop? I'm an actual potato, love.
For example, again, speaking of chemical, there was a picture that was going around on Reddit and 4chan of our cosplay officer, V. And it was, obviously you can see her and she appears to be made out of sticks.
She's very slender, she's very pretty.
And still, there were people on 4chan saying like, oh no, she needs to do more sit-ups.
She needs to lose weight, she needs to lose that ass.
People on 4chan.
There was Reddit as well, because... But let's move on because we're getting on, so we've still got some things to do. So cosplay, we're just going to zoom through the cosplay section. So obviously get your weapons and props checked at ops. For the love of fucking God, please get them checked. There is an unchecked BB gun going around.
Seen it.
Is that the guy with the ski mask?
No, that's another incident. The guy came in with the ski mask and scared the living shit out of everyone.
Ski mask, body armor, realistic looking assault rifle.
But there's someone going around for their cosplay. They've got a BB gun that they've obviously not had checked, and it looks like a proper gun.
They'd actually painted. I heard the instance through the Gopher messaging. It was a BB gun. It did have an orange tip on it, but they painted over that.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were told by a Gopher, go and take it to your room. They didn't. They went to the bar, so they then had to follow up. Go take it to your room now.
It's ridiculous. It's like why it's just get it checked, and then they'll say if it's good or it's. I mean, you could cause so much problems. Yeah, exactly. It takes no time at all. They look at it. Like I got my weapon checked last year, my big staff, and I was actually convinced that I wouldn't be allowed to walk around with it at the convention. I would only be able to take it for my photo shoots outside. But they looked at it and they went, honestly, you're not going to hurt anyone with that. They stuck a wee tag on it. I was in and out in like seconds. And then I got to walk around the convention with my staff. And it took no time at all. It's really inconsiderate, and you could really upset people as well. Like, there could be just looking at it, like, that's too realistic of a gun. You can't have that. You're going to get fucking arrested. Don't fucking bring it around.
That's how realistic the BB gun was yesterday.
Yeah, it's...
Particularly if we think about the venue here, obviously we're right next to the NEC, which is right next to the airport, which has armed security who will shoot you.
Like, they will not ask questions. They will straight up just take you the fuck out. Don't risk it.
Especially with the EDL and that yesterday as well.
Oh, I heard they were kicking about, bastards.
Why would you have like a gun like that when you know there's shit going down?
I literally, it was because of where we're staying, I had to completely forget about wearing what I was going to wear. Although it's like a few of the people in here know that I do a lot of military cosplays, but I always make an extreme habit of making sure it is properly fucking blaze tipped.
Yeah.
So literally to the point where you can literally see it from a good 10 meters at most distance.
So I'm just going to zip through the rest of the cosplay section because we've only got 10 minutes left. So be aware of the size of your cosplay, because some people, they make their big cosplays and then they don't take care of them. And the amount of times that I've been whacked by wings and then they've turned around and given me a dirty look, it's like, mate, you bumped into me, fuck off, right? I always take care and I try to avoid them as much as possible, but be aware of the size of your cosplay, especially if you're going to go into the dealer's room. It's just...
That's why these are tight shoes.
Thank you.
Again, try to avoid bringing bulky cosplay props into like the parties in the dealer's room, because you're gonna fuck shit up. It's
You're gonna hurt someone and you're gonna break your cosplay.
Especially the dealer's room this year was fucking tiny, and I'm basically just myself trying to walk around that room, and I couldn't get past people, but there was people with cosplay wandering around, and I was paranoid. I mean, nothing big, obviously, but I was still paranoid about like brushing past them and like the whole thing disintegrating off their body. And, oh my god, I'm so fucking sorry. But you know, if you've got like your props and stuff, just leave them at the door with the gophers. They'll be fine. They'll watch them. Take your wings off if you can. Leave them at the door. It's fine. They'll watch them. They'll be there when you come back. Don't worry. Never ever ever touch someone's cosplay or props without permission. I say this because my prop broke last year because somebody just kind of flung their bag down, and my staff that I'd spent weeks working on fell over and the head broke off the damn thing, and I was absolutely devastated. And then I was just like, well, I think that's the photo shoot done for me then. So it's lying in pieces in my spare room. But it's
Thankfully only 2 pieces.
I mean, I could glue the thing back together, but I would just probably remake the whole thing.
Where's cosplay repairman when we need him?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just, you don't know how fragile these things are, so if you got someone and go, look at your wings, and then you're holding a wing over here, shit, I'm so fucking sorry. And you've potentially ruined like hours and hours and hours of work. I mean, it may look like a small flimsy thing to you, but it could be like hours of work. And then you've wrecked it in like the space of 2 seconds because you're an absolute wanker who can't keep their hands to themselves. So yeah, always ask before you touch people's cosplays and props. And another big thing, there are cosplayers in the world who do not like their photo being taken, and you have to respect that. It happens a lot more these days. They're just not comfortable with having their photos on the internet, and that's perfectly fine. It could even be that they've had like a bad experience in the past with creepers with their cameras, and they're just like, no, I want absolutely no photos taken. And people do get arsey about that, unfortunately. I had a woman at Etiquette. She got arsey at me because I didn't want to get into a photo, and I wasn't even cosplaying. She stopped my friends, my best friends Zach and Steph were cosplaying Adventure Time and There Will Be Brawl, and we were sitting while they were like eating, or Zach trying to eat. He had full face paint on. It was insane.
If you've seen There Will Be Brawl, he was Ganondorf. So he also had to move around the doors.
And so like Steph was having to help him drink and stuff, so it was kind of like he was trying to sit down for 5 minutes and have food, and the woman came over and was like, can we have your photograph? And they were like, well, no, not really, but they kind of grudgingly got up and kind of posed for it. But then the woman was wanting me in the photo, and I'm like, I'm literally standing here in jeans and t-shirt, like, why do you want me in the photo? And I was just like, no thank you, I don't really like photos being taken of myself. Oh no, but just get out of it. No, please, honestly. And I actually went into full dick bag mode, and I shoved my press badge in her face, and I went, excuse me, I'm press. I stand behind the camera, not in front of it. And she went, alright, okay. That was an absolute dick bag move on my part, but she was in my face and wouldn't fuck off.
Speaking of which, there are appropriate and inappropriate times to take someone's picture. If they're having a wee rest, if they're having something to eat, just wait, catch them later.
So we're going to quickly talk about a convention.
I believe I was the one that mentioned about
this. A lot of you probably have heard of what happened at Kitacon. Quick point, if I ever see anything like this at a UK convention, I will find the person responsible, I will kick their fucking arse. Because that is ridiculous. That's one convention. That's not even from like a couple of Katsucons. That's from that one convention that happened this year. Someone punched a fucking hole in the door and then thought they'd be funny and put One Punch Man was here, and so clever on it. Because that's what it says, One Punch Man was here. They flooded their hotel room. If you can't read, the toilets has got Katsucon 2016 written all. Why? Why would you graffiti with the name of the convention?
It's really not to point the finger at.
You're only making it worse for yourself, for other attendees, and for the conventions.
Because I guarantee Katsucon got in the absolute shitter for that. And if that happened here, the hotel would not let us back for sure. I've not heard of any like vandalism to this extreme, but that's what astounds me is that it's all come from one convention in one evening. That's someone walking around the convention to find these things and taking the pictures of them.
How do you even get the exit sign down? Maybe it's just because I'm short, but I can't fathom being able to reach up that high.
Apparently they jumped and high-fived it, they just like slapped it.
Because people like to do things like that. Can I reach it? People do it in my Tesco all the time. We've got the hanging signs, and so you've got like and do you know what the thing is? It's drunk old men as well. They come from the pub across the road, and they walk along and they jump and they try to catch it. And it's like, mate, you're literally going to bring down our ceiling tiles. Don't do that.
You're not 5 years old. You can probably touch it.
I literally can't comprehend as to how someone could potentially flood a bathroom like that.
It's impressive, isn't it?
It's not.
You've got to kind of just, you look at it and you go, on the one hand, that's terrible. On the other hand, that's impressive. But on the third hand, that's terrible.
Wasn't there a story about someone apparently weed in the corridor as well? Or something?
Yeah, I couldn't find a picture of that, but yeah, there was a puddle of piss in the corridor.
Rainforest, they done the similar damage last year, and they've been banned from every convention. They've been banned from all the hotels in the States to point to the bloody convention. The damage was on that level. Rainforest. Baby first took over it because they weren't happy.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember
They
this.
told it was an all-age convention, and they decided to have their own mini fetish convention in the lobby.
Like I heard they had they were throwing shitty nappies out the windows and stuff, like shitty adult diapers out the windows, and they were like on.
They blocked up the hot tub with towels as well.
Yeah.
And they put their fetish stuff on people's
Hotel
cars.
told them they're not coming back, so they tried to book a different hotel, and every hotel in the state went, no, we've heard you.
It's like there you go. The actions of few have now impacted on the many. This convention can probably never run again. These people have lost an event that they've obviously been going to for a very long time because some muppets thought they'd take it just a little bit too far. I'm not kink shaming to a point.
I'm kink shaming.
Tom will kink shame you to fuck. But me, I'm just like, sure, that's your thing, right? Just keep that to yourself in your own little private space. But when you're walking around the convention with your binky and your adult diaper on that you are literally pissing and shitting into, I am going to fucking kink shame you for that, right? Get the fuck out of here. Don't do it. Not in public. Please, for the love of God.
There are specific events for that.
So common sense, don't get blackout drunk. Ala last year, where the convention very nearly got shut down because Babby's first con. Yeah, that was great. That was a Friday night where all the committee got hauled into a meeting at 4 o'clock in the morning with the hotel, and the hotel were like, we're going to shut you the fuck down. And I was not at all surprised when I heard why, because we went into Video Hub the next day and we were immediately told, yeah, by the way, here's what happened last night and here's all the new restrictions in place and you're going to have to keep an eye on folk as well. And it was like, what the fuck is day one of the convention?
We had one blackout one.
In the lobby they were found.
They had to shut down one of the toilets because they were that ill.
I
The
was,
person was paralytic and put into a wheelchair until help could get to them.
Just quickly, because it is...
Sorry guys.
Sorry,
We're
just
running out of time.
we're running out of time, so I'm just going to quickly go through these and then... yeah, so don't take any drugs. Don't drink, don't give anyone else drugs, please. Don't put drugs in your drink and then give it to someone and say, try my drink, because she's going to see music for the rest of the night. Oh dear. Yeah, please do not leave the fucking drugs at home and your legal highs as well. I don't even know what constitutes as a legal high these days. Like, is that poppers and shit?
But don't bring them.
Just, why do you need them anyway? Just get high on life.
Unsafe.
Not safe.
It's not safe.
But yeah, it's, drugs are an absolute no. I actually had someone come up to me, Aya, and ask if I knew who was selling like heroin that weekend. And I was like, mate, I've kind of lost a little bit of respect for you. Like, I know we're friends, but maybe not so much anymore. Bye.
The only drug you need at these is Pocky.
One of the legal highs, I think, was laughing gas, nitro.
Right, okay. Fire alarms. Don't tamper with the fire alarms because this still happens. Even after what happened at Fuyucon, or Firecon as it was called, because someone sprayed fucking deodorant into the fire alarm. So the fire alarm kept going off throughout the duration of the weekend, and everyone got pissed off because they had to keep evacuating their hotel room at like 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Continued on and on and on throughout the weekend. So why you would want to tamper with something like that, or even, that was the thing, they sprayed deodorant into it? Why? Shh, you smell nice now? Why?
You'll know the fire alarm in your room because it's the one with the big sticker that says, "Don't touch this."
Don't wear your cosplay in the pool. I've not heard from that happening again since the first time it happened, but it should be said anyway, don't wear your cosplay in the pool because you're going to fuck up the pool, and then they're going to lose their shit. They're going to lose their shit at the con's going to lose their shit at you, and then we're all just going to have a really bad time. Don't wear your fucking cosplay in the pool.
Not safe.
Not safe. Don't harass people, because like I say, a lot of the stories I got was to do with harassment. One of my friends has already been harassed. One of your friends has already been harassed. It's ridiculous. Just don't harass people. Just leave people alone. If they want you to leave them alone, just leave them alone. Just leave them. Just walk away. Leave. It's fine. And that's it. I'm sorry that went by so quickly.
We might have time for a little video.
You want to? Nobody's come in to kick us out yet, so. Thank you for everyone, for all of you for coming. Thank you to the people that contributed towards this. This is just a smaller panel this year. We are going to do a bigger version for the next big Kitacon.
It'll be twice as big. There'll be 4 of us.
It'll be like the last one that we did, so we will have a game and such, and we'll have more time to prepare it rather than a last minute demand from committee and such to do it. But yes, thank you for coming along, and I'm going to quickly show you the video that Tom demands that I show you. Because he thinks it's great. You've probably already seen it. Come on. It's not going to open, is it? Even though I downloaded the program last night. I hate Windows 10. It's the worst thing, right?
I feel your pain.
I actually don't mind it now that I've been using it for a while.
I'm still resisting. It keeps trying to make me
I didn't use Windows 8.
Whoa. Whoa.
There's no sound. If it's not yes, it's no. Tom told me I had to play that video. The sound didn't
I think it's very important. Just even if it seems like it's all fun and games, just no.
And just quickly, yeah. There you go. That was the Chinese that was left out.
And again, you're only punishing yourself.
This is a fucking con bag, and it was reeking. It was disgusting.
Just ask the cleaners for bin bags. That's what I done last year when we were
Seriously,
Yeah.
Why? Just put them in the
Takes
corner.
2 minutes.
And that was in the evening, so like they'd obviously eaten and they just left that there, and that was the broken lip.
Left con.
And I think that was it. Yeah, I mean, like the cleaners actually appreciate it if you ask them for a bag to like put your rubbish in, because the year that me and Tom got married here, the amount of rubbish that was in our room was obscene, and we had, I think it was
You have to get like 3 bin bags.
oh, it was more than that. I'm going to keep these locked in here for longer. There it is. That top picture there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bin bags of the rubbish that we'd accumulated over the weekend from like all the wedding stuff that we did. And we had to go and ask the cleaners. We were like, yeah, by the way, don't go into our room, we'll clean it. But even just asking for the bags, the cleaner really appreciated that, and it just made her life a little bit easier.
I have heard that there's like that there is a service where you can call and ask them to come and clean your room, but don't be a dick.
Just as you could clean up your own room at home, so clean up your room there. It takes like 2 minutes. But yeah, I'm going to let you all escape and go and enjoy the rest of the convention, and thank you for coming and listening to me bitch and moan. I appreciate it. I apologise again for not running on Friday. I was ill. I apologise for not being more enthusiastic today. I'm still ill.
I apologise for nothing.
Like next year I will be more enthusiastic, more angry, and it'll be a bigger, better panel. So thank you, and have fun. I'll see you all later.
And don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.